The night of the fight, they weigh like a 20, 18 pounds more than you. Is difficult. It's more difficult, but my power is there. If you hear the punches, my power is different.
Yeah.
Going up 2 weight classes, really like 3. And early, I feel Terence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, catch Canelo early.
Are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case.
Canelo Alvarez has responded to Terence Crawford's latest training footage with calm respect. He admits that Crawford's rhythm and sharpness carry shades of Floyd Mayweather's style, and he acknowledges the discipline behind the preparation. Yet Canelo's self-belief remains unshaken. He insists that while Crawford's skills and power are genuine, they are not enough to rattle him. With quiet determination, he declares himself ready to dominate, to impose his will, and to remind the world why he stands at the pinnacle of boxing.
Good, because first of all is the respect. If they treat you with respect, you do the same thing. That's what I think. So, and I'm always try to do my best there. Not because I need it or because I need to, because I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, look, and you've been fighting pro now for what, more than 17 years, I believe.
Almost 20.
Wow, yeah, almost 20 years.
In October.
Wow.
I turned 20 years as professional fighter.
Analysts often highlight one of the sharpest contrasts between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, how their opponents approach them. Crawford, with his technical brilliance and uncanny ability to adjust, usually faces challengers who stand and fight. They respect his timing, his precision, his counters, but they rarely retreat in fear. With Canelo, the equation changes. Fighters circle away, use constant movement and enter survival mode, knowing that one clean power shot can end their night. His punches carry not only physical force but also psychological weight-breaking spirits before the first bell. This difference deepens the intrigue of Canelo versus Crawford. Crawford thrives when opponents engage. Canelo thrives when his presence alone forces submission.
I ain't even seen Gamboa run from Terence. As a matter of fact, I ain't even seen Victor Postal run from Terence. We ain't seen Majormov in his last fight run from Terence but Crawford. But we do see people running away from Canelo Alvarez. People not trying to commit to Canelo Alvarez. We seen it with William Skull. Dude was just as cut up as anybody in the sport of boxing. Mother ever was running. The Cuban style, running. We already know that the Cuban school, man, they highly respected in the sport of boxing. He was running. Jamel Charlo, Iron Man Charlo. I ain't gonna say he wasn't running, but he wasn't committed. He wasn't committed the way that he was committed in the 154-pound division when he was knocking everybody else to get his titles, right? It was very uncharacteristic from Iron Man Jamel Charlo, a knockout artist, right? I'm gonna tell you like this, even Dimitri Bivol was going at it with Canelo Alvarez. 1-2, but he was jumping right back out. Jumping right back out. He beat him in the style that Dimitri Bivol beat him. But it's not like he went out there and had that killer instinct and go for the gusto and stuff like that with Canelo Alvarez. He wasn't just trying to go out there and get him. He was beep, 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 jump back out, jump back out, beep, beep, jump back out. Hold on, I don't want to stay in the danger zone, right? Even though that he beat Canelo Alvarez, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Edgar Berlanga. We see Edgar Berlanga using his footwork. We see Edgar Berlanga using his footwork and stuff like that, right? He made a good account of himself, but he didn't commit that the way he was committing versus Mantequilla and all his opponents, because Canelo Alvarez is different. Canelo Alvarez is dangerous. And I've been hearing, of course, a lot of people saying that Bud Crawford is dangerous, but ain't nobody. I never saw nobody that fought Terence Bud Crawford had fear in their heart, fear in their eyes. Even when they was getting beat down from Terence Bud Crawford, they still stepped to Terence Bud.
Canelo's sparring partners, men who have absorbed his power firsthand, offer a blunt perspective. One openly questioned Crawford's chances, doubting his ability to carry extra weight effectively. Their logic is grounded in experience. Canelo has battled and beaten naturally bigger men. even light heavyweights, while Crawford is stepping into unfamiliar waters. Adding muscle may bring more strength, but it also risks slowing him down. For a fighter whose edge is built on speed, timing, and precision, even a fraction lost could be fatal. To them, the physical strain of facing a naturally larger elite puncher like Canelo might be too steep a mountain to climb.
Canelo's gonna win, but I tell everybody, man, as a business standpoint, I think it's gonna be a draw if it goes the distance. But I see Canelo getting the stoppage. I don't think Crawford's gonna carry that weight well. Even if he did put on weight, I don't think that was a good idea, especially coming up from a smaller guy. But it's gonna be a great fight. Two brains in the ring. It's gonna be.
Mexican legend Fernando Vargas has left no doubt about where he stands. For Vargas, Mexico needs Canelo Alvarez to win. He sees Canelo not only as an extraordinary fighter, but also as a symbol of national pride, an heir to the legacies of Julio Cesar, Chavez, and other Mexican icons. Every victory carries meaning beyond the individual. It speaks to millions of fans who see him as the flag bearer of Mexican boxing today. Vargas respects Crawford's brilliance, but for him, the stakes are emotional, cultural, and historic. This fight, he insists, must be won not just for Canelo, but for Mexico itself.
What's crazy is, I'm a big Crawford fan as well. Like, every time he sees me and my brothers and my dad at fights, he comes out of his way, shakes our hand. It's all respect. But I just feel the weight's a little too much, Marcos. I feel going up 2 weight classes, really like 3. And early, I feel Terence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, catch Canelo early. Maybe I could see Terence Crawford go southpaw because you see Canelo has had a bit of problems with southpaws. You could see Canelo, I could see him getting frustrated, picking him up like how he does, like when he gets frustrated. But I say 6th, 7th, 8th round on up, I think he'll figure him out. And we need Canelo to get a stoppage, if not get a get a knockout. I think it'll be great for Mexico, and it'll be great for Razas. But I got Canelo, coming out with the
History tells us that moving up in weight is often treacherous, and Canelo's punches have humbled men far bigger. Yet recent footage from Crawford's camp has turned skepticism into curiosity. Bud appears not only bigger but sharper, his frame, filled out with muscle without the loss of agility. His footwork remains crisp, his combinations precise, his energy explosive. Instead of looking like a man burdened by size, he seems to have adapted with discipline and purpose. The question has shifted, from whether he can handle the weight to whether he can use it to his advantage against one of the sport's most dangerous men.
Right? And again, stark contrast to what Terence Crawford is having to deal with. He is fighting guys, and when I say cutting down from 190, probably in the ring at 190 pounds, much less cutting down from it. Crawford's probably used to being hit by guys like Sean Porter, who, maybe 160 pound on fight night. The difference is just night and day. So I was thinking, how in God's name are you going to get around that? How are you going to get around the strength disadvantage? Because Crawford is very physically strong, and he normally always has, maybe with the exception of Sean Porter, although that was kind of much of a muchness. Sean Porter did really well that fight. He's normally always had the physical strength advantage, very physically strong as Terence Crawford. And I just remember thinking, how are you going to get around that? You're used to hitting guys and they get hurt. Alvarez has been hit by Danny Jacobs. He's been hit by Triple G. He's been hit by Bivol, Kovalev, Callum Smith, etc., etc., etc. Big punching guys who are a lot bigger than Terence Crawford. Granted, not skillful, a lot bigger. So again, I'm thinking, how are you going to get around this? Well, Crawford has released a couple of training clips, and in those training clips, yikes, he's looking good for one. He's looking a lot better than Canelo was looking in some of his training clips. But again, you can't read a great deal into those training clips because, again, Alvarez is clearly holding back. People say, oh, he looked terrible. It's like, well, you can kind of tell he's not going full tilt. You can kind of tell that. So what does that tell you? How many times have we seen guys look good on the pads and then on fight night they've nothing left? I distinctly remember Alexander Povetkin in the run-up to the second Dillian Whyte fight in an open workout.
Amir Khan, a former champion who has shared the ring with both fighters, adds a rare perspective. He remembers the crushing power of Canelo Alvarez, the heavy shots that landed with an unshakable force in their 2016 encounter. Years later, he also remembers the sharpness and skill of Crawford, who stopped him in 2019. Khan respects both deeply, but admits Canelo's sheer size and strength create dangers that cannot be ignored. For him, Crawford's brilliance is real, but Alvarez represents a level of physical dominance that even elite technicians must fear.
You've been in there with Canelo, you've been there with all the best.
Beast, man. I thought Canelo at his peak. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo's a beast, and he's a great man. He's a good family man as well. Got a lot of respect for him. I like him. You know, we've always had mutual respect for each other. And he still has a picture of me and him in his front room. I saw on a documentary because he really thought that what was one of his biggest fights, like with the hype that I had and all that. So yeah, man, it was good times.
And then when people see that fight back, you're winning those early rounds.
Look, it's boxing, boy, 12-round fight. You know, I mean, even though I won them early rounds, he caught me with a good shot. He had the power, he had the strength. I mean, he was so big. I remember thinking this is easy. I can hit him when I want. But then obviously I knew that when he hit me with a couple of them body shots and he hit me with them shots, I was like thinking, fucking this guy can hit hard.
There is, however, one lingering concern among fans and analysts. Could Canelo versus Crawford repeat the disappointment of Mayweather versus Pacquiao? That long-awaited super fight was historic yet cautious and lacking fireworks. Both Canelo and Crawford are strategic, calculating, and acutely aware of each other's weapons. Some fear the fight may unfold carefully. Crawford reluctant to exchange with a naturally bigger man, Canelo slowing the tempo to avoid being timed. The potential for brilliance exists, but so does the risk of anticlimax.
Boxing is hanging on a thread. If Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford pulls a Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, there's no turning back. In this side of the pond, boxing is dead. Look, a lot of things is going to Saudi Arabia. David Benavidez is one of the phenoms in the sport of boxing, going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Just put this. Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, if it would have came to fruition, was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. Boots Ennis and Tio could have happened in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. So a lot of these big fight that it was planned was not going to be here. It's not going to be here. So for networks to trust the sport of boxing once again, this fight between Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, whoever you pick, whoever you support, is more than just wins and losses. Doesn't matter. The fight has to win. Doesn't matter if Canelo Alvarez, doesn't matter if Terence Crawford win, lose. The fight has to win. Just like when it was Hagler versus Hearns on a Monday, prime time. Prime time. That was a fight on a Monday, prime time, free TV. They put up a wonderful performance to this day. People still remember, and it was only 3 rounds. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, they better show out and entertain.
Boxing analyst Elam puts it plainly, skill alone is not enough at this level. Durability, composure, and experience under heavy fire are just as vital. Canelo has faced bigger men across multiple divisions from light middleweight to light heavyweight, proving both resilience and adaptability. Crawford, as gifted as he is, steps into unknown terrain. The unanswered question is how he will respond when Canelo's power finally connects. In fights like these, a single shot can decide everything. Alvarez's comfort in this realm is a decisive advantage.
Canelo has to, Crawford has to box and not care to want a crowd please. He has to stick and move. If he sits there too long with Canelo, I think Canelo, his defense is great. He'll be able to withstand it and take him in deep waters and win the fight.
Besides being a boxing coach, you're an expert in strength and conditioning.
Yes, sir.
Crawford never fought more than 154.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think bulking up, obviously he's bulking up, we're seeing the picture, he's moving up from 147, 54, 60, 68. He's going to gain 15, 20, 30 pounds. Will that slow him down by around 5, 6, 7? The heart, the muscle, the oxygen you take. If your body's not used to fighting it at that size, it doesn't not make a difference.
It depends on what type of strength and conditioning you're doing too, though. So when you do explosive stuff and things like that, plyometrics is different. But he has to bulk up, so he has to lift a little bit of weight. I'm pretty sure he has people with the knowledge and the proper money that he has to get the right people to do the right thing.
Support for Crawford, however, comes from unexpected places. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal has called him perhaps the best fighter of this generation. Shaq praises Crawford's adaptability, his timing, his composure under fire. For him, Bud's mental strength and tactical intelligence are rare even among champions. He believes these qualities could neutralize Canelo's size advantage. To O'Neal, Crawford embodies the kind of athlete whose greatness transcends sport. Someone who blends skill with intelligence to define an era.
Listen, you're a lifelong combat sports fan. You go to all the events. Everyone's talking about the one fight right now, Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Who do you got?
I gotta go Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford?
Yeah.
Why?
He's the best ever.
Really? You think he's the greatest ever?
Yeah.
Over Ali, Muhammad Ali? I didn't know you were a big Terence Crawford fan like that.
You have to understand that there's eras, and in different eras, you can bring down the titles. Like, for example, Joker's the best big man now.
Right.
And I don't like.
You put Joker over you as the best big man? Oh.
Different eras and different time. It's not my era, not my time now.
True.
It's their time. So he's the greatest big man in the NBA right now. So I let the people decide who's that. But right now, Terence Crawford is the best.
So,
and Floyd, because Floyd has never lost.
So how does Terence beat Canelo? Decision?
He's
or
gonna knock him out.
He's going to knock Canelo out?
Yes, man.
So they're going to have the fight at the Vegas Stadium, Raider Stadium. You're going to be there?
I heard it was off.
No, it's back on.
Okay.
Now
yes,
it's back on. It's in September 13th in Vegas.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there. Front row?
Of course.
All right, cool. You're the man. Listen, I saw you lace up the gloves once versus Oscar De La Hoya. Can we ever see you put the gloves back on? Maybe versus Dwight Howard.
Well, why would I fight him? I only fight champions.
You only fight champions.
If I do. See, my thing is, all these guys had a problem with me, but you wait till I turn 50 to say you want to fight.
Right.
I don't respect that. I'll fight Gronk, because Gronk is a champion, and he's a friend of mine, and I know that he'll compete.
So you want to box Gronk or MMA?
Whatever, MMA.
MMA.
Yeah.
Hey, bigger, so you're a legend. Hey, you're always the coolest. Congrats on another successful year as Jackson House.
Commentator Skull frames Canelo Alvarez as something larger than boxing itself, the embodiment of success. From a teenage prodigy in Guadalajara to a multi-division world champion, Canelo has risen through the ranks by consistently taking on the best. He has not only carried the weight of expectations, but also the commercial weight of the sport on his shoulders. For Skull, Alvarez's legacy is already written. He is a global ambassador of boxing. Crawford, though brilliant, is entering a domain where Canelo has long been king.
So Canelo's most recent opponent, former IBF 168-pound champion William Skull, spoke about the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford fight, as well as his experience fighting Canelo, with him citing that he was robbed and everybody knows it. William Skull, whose style of fighting received heavy backlash, also said that the way he fought was all part of their master plan. Skull, who was galloping a lot, said that the whole idea is to make sure that Canelo keeps on missing, in which William Skull himself argues that he was successful in achieving. He also said that the whole experience of facing Canelo Alvarez was bittersweet because despite not getting hit by Canelo, for some reason he still ended up losing, once again insisting that he was robbed. Now, when asked about his prediction for the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford fight, William Skull kept it safe and vague without choosing.
Shane Mosley, who fought Canelo in 2012, offers perhaps the simplest verdict: size matters. He remembers a young Canelo who already carried frightening strength, and he has watched him grow even more formidable since. Mosley respects Crawford's talent, but he believes physics cannot be escaped. Moving up several divisions to face a natural super middleweight and a former light heavyweight champion may be too much even for a fighter of Crawford's brilliance. For Mosley, it isn't about Crawford's heart or skill. The real question is whether his body can withstand the storm that is Canelo Alvarez.
Yo, not only is Canelo stronger, he has a better defense, a better ring IQ, and he has better experience at an elite level that is not comparable with Terence Crawford. Some of you are going to be surprised that in September, Canelo's going to outclass him, not just outmuscle him. And if you don't believe me, listen to what Shane Mosley has to say about the upcoming fight. After that, drop a comment, like, follow, subscribe. It's a chopping box, baby. Yeah.
It'll be a great fight. I think both guys are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case. They're both talented. Yeah. But the only thing is, Canelo has them by two-weight division. So I think that Canelo beats him pretty easily. But we'll see. If Crawford does good, I mean, kudos to Crawford. I'm happy for him. If he can pull off, great. But my mental, my mindset.